uh, so for me, guys, to start up our discussion, my ideation about the poem of Rizal is that the ideation that forms in my mind after I read the poem of Rizal sa aking mga kabata is that the poem main idea is like all about showing the love for our country, especially for our language or our mother tongue, where Rizal shows in the poem how important it is. Um, there is a line in the poem where it is said that if we really love or care about our mother tongue, we will do everything for it, or even we will die for it just to defend it, like what happened before, where our national heroes did everything. They sacrificed their life to defend our country and to preserve everything, especially our mother tongue. So I have a question to you guys. What are the things that you are doing just to preserve our mother tongue, despite that we all know that our universal language is English? Like, do you speak in Taglish or straight Tagalog?
Hmm. Well, as for me, I try to keep our mother our mother tongue as a main point or the important language for us, since a lot of us are actually using Taglish right now because of, for me, um social pressure. A lot of people are trying to cope up with the cultural adaptation that we should speak more on Konya in order to show that we are academically smart, which for me is wrong, because as Rizal said, that every language is equal to each other. So I don't think that's really a right, right way of showing that your mother tongue. So all in all, for me, I think I should emphasize more on speaking our national language rather than using Taglish. Well, for me, as for my perspective from the poem, generally the main thought of Jose Rizal was to emphasize more on improving or realizing the role of nationalism in the country in terms of their loyalty to our national language, specifically our country, which is the Philippines. But for me, I want to dig deeper, okay, on what I was really thinking deep down while reading each and every stanza of the poem. We all know that we are currently facing right now in our countries, in terms of their nationalism, um, it is very well funded that since it covers various factors on what the idea of nationalism to our country is. But in terms of their loyalty to their language, various Filipinos right now utilizes different languages. For example, as I said a while ago, many Filipinos right now tries so hard to cope up with the idea of speaking Taglish with other people to show, as I said, cultural pressure. That for me is very wrong. Another thing is that the Alibata, which is our alphabet, is already was already washed because none of us are actually giving importance to our own alphabet. So for me, I think Rizal is actually right, but we should emphasize more on our own own alphabet and language to show our nationality to the country. That's all.
Um, I have like question to you guys. Like, yeah, we all know that globalization is very like influential to our country. Like, do you get conscious if like you are speaking in Tagalog, then like all around, like all of the people around you is speaking in, let's say, English? Nico.
For me, bro, most of the time, if I see people around me that are speaking in English, I try to do the same actually. But then there are times that I'm really proud to use my language, the Filipino language, especially because we are Filipino, because it represents us. It shows the uh, other people our language. But I don't think that learning different language is bad, especially for globalization, since we are in a time where every country, even us, the Philippines, we are going through globalization as well. So I think it's okay, because we do need it. We do need to learn the other languages so we can communicate to with other countries. But still, I think there are times that um, we should still use our language, especially if we don't try, we don't try to use it. If we just try to forget it and just use other languages, and there will come a time that maybe we'll just be speaking English as well. And for us Filipinos, we do not like that. So I think we still need to use our language. So that's my idea.
I agree with Nico because recently speaking English became a stereotype in a way that if you speak English, you are what do you call this? You are rich or you have a good
Yeah,
social status.
it becomes the basis of like your
Yes, yes.
like if you are poor or
You're
rich.
educated and
Yeah, even that.
you're superior than other people, just like what Joel said. So the poem revolved on that context because based from my understanding of the poem, the the context revolves around the ideology of loving one's country through their own language. So there is a paragraph in the poem that um, it invokes the significance of fighting for one's mother tongue as it equates to fighting for one's nation. So this shows that Rizal was enlightened about the state of freedom of our nation at a very young age at that time. So for me, this poem can pass on the will of Rizal to continue fighting for our country even at the present day. Especially there are other languages that are more useful to others, English being the universal language. So sometimes it's a must to learn other languages, but it's important not to forget our own mother tongue.
Uh, for me, I think the term konyo is actually for me, it symbolizes cultural pleasure because like around 5 years ago, actually, a lot of my friends are not actually using Taglish as a as a language for them. But right after they went to a popular college, which is LaSalle, a lot of them actually tried so hard to speak Konyo or Taglish, which for me is I think very you know a very slight reason to just cope up with the culture that's happening right now. So I don't think speaking Taglish is actually culture for us. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree on that one, on you, Raul. For me, this poem made us feel how number one tool on how we represent the nationality that we have. So for me, today's generation is the most who often use foreign language since most of the courses in schools are using English language. And sometimes most of the professors are teaching English language, and sometimes there is a policy that we must speak in English. Yes, the youth have interest in our mother tongue, but when it comes to foreign language, they are what is like distinguished more as competitive than using Tagalog or any other dialect. So for me, I think if I speak some kind of indigenous dialect like Ilocano, the way it will survive is if I choose to teach it to my future children and use it as one of our ways to communicate at home on a daily basis. But if I constantly choose to utilize and teach the English language, what will happen to my mother tongue? Um, it will be more likely to extinct. That's all.
I agree on what
Uh,
you said, EJ. Like what I am doing right now, like as much as possible, I'm trying to use our mother tongue, even though like I can say that most of my friends always talk in English what what like Raul said before, the Konyo thing where they mix Tagalog and English. And for me, the Konyo type, I guess like it's because of the culture right now, like and because of
Cultural pressure.
yeah,
I
like
agree.
because of globalization, like the American culture and Filipino culture is mixing, and yeah, we all know that our country was has like it was colonized by different type of countries, and like we can also like diba, like we can speak in Spanish like the uno dos tres cuatro like that, but still we should always try our best to speak in Tagalog to show love for the culture that we have right now and for our mother tongue.
I have to agree with EJ as well. I think we are lacking on the use of Filipino language when it comes to education. I think we're only using the Filipino language today because we were used to it. We used it when we were growing up. But I think what he said is right because I think we're really lacking on the use of the Filipino language when it comes to um, uh, education or in other things. Yeah. How about you, Raul? Tyron, do you have anything to add up?
Actually, how about how about the Alibata, which is our what do you call it? Our own alphabet. What do you guys think? Should we emphasize more on teaching
Yeah,
this,
I
or
guess we should emphasize that. But for me, like I don't know, and I can't say that it's too late to study that one since like there is some like Spanish lesson around, and I know that it can learn quickly. So like we should do the same thing for the Alibata.
for me, I think we should. I think our we should add this to the curriculum for me, because a lot a lot of us are actually not a lot of teachers are actually not teaching this type of lessons, so I think we should emphasize more on it.
And yeah, that's all for our discussion about Rizal's poem, Ang Aking Mga Kabata.